Hello, awesome people. I hope you're having a great day today. Today, taking a look at the last short story in this collection, The Unreal and the Real, the Giant, more than 700-page, 39 short story that was published and collated by Ursula K. LeGuin's. This was written very recently, actually in 2014. This collection, by the way, was collated by Ursula K. LeGuin's. She chose the things when we were in there. She wrote a couple of intros for the two different sections and such. So this is a 21-page short story called the Bottle of Water for folks, and basically it's in the second half, which is science fiction and fantasy mostly for folks, and then the first half are typically ones that aren't in those genres that she's known for folks. She wrote a lot more than 39 short stories, so again, she just collated the ones that are best ones that she liked for you folks. This one probably feels more fantasy, although there's nothing fantasy specifically about it, but probably just due to its setting, it definitely feels like it's set back in the past in an alternate world. There is a city that's next to a desert that's very, very hot right now this time of the year, currently in the droughts and so forth, and no trade is going across the route. And a local businessman who has his great aide, who he trusts with everything, he's a servant too. He is dispatching him across the desert to a nearby town on the other side of the desert that will be taking a jar of water. That's talked about. That's where the concept of this comes from, and the name of it comes from, as a gift to a saint on the other side in that city. And such. So that's what's going to happen. The servant asks on the first couple pages if he can get escorts, because it's dangerous. In the winter time, in the summertime, at the heat of the heat areas, and he also asks for soldier escorts too, because it's dangerous, not just heat-wise, but also bandit-wise too. Both of those are declined by his master. So he will be given some money, go out to the city, buy some supplies, and then find out, and then head on out. And those 21 pages are his journeys and such, and what happens with our key character. So that's the story of what's in the setting. Again, it probably feels like a fantasy, a different world, not Earth, right, in an older medieval setting, right? But there's nothing in here that says, oh, there's like wizards or monsters or anything like that makes you feel, oh yeah, it's a fantasy, right? Right, so there's nothing in here at all. It's just set in an alternate world. So I guess you might call it fantasy, and if it were in a fantasy collection of short stories, I'd be like, oh yeah, it's a fantasy, sure. But I don't feel like it's a fantasy, when I'm going up against it. But anyway, again, Ursula K. LeGuin is a big name in fantasy and science fiction, like I talked about before. I like this short story. I'm probably just I liked it a lot. I thought it was a nice way to end it. And so forth. So probably it's not like this amazing short story that had this really revelatory message or anything like that to it. It took me about 50 minutes last night for me to knock it out, roughly. So I'm probably giving this probably like a 7 out of 10. It's fine. It's well written. I enjoyed what happened and the concepts and so forth. But again, it's not this big giant concept. It doesn't have a flip ending that you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't see that coming, right? Right. So it's not the best short story I've ever read. It's not the worst either. But it's fine. It's well written. As a reminder, Ursula K. LeGuin has won a ton of Hugos for you folks, and then has so for example, she's heavily influential, like I said before, in science fiction with many classics in the genres from decades ago, like The Left Hand of Darkness or Lilies of Heaven, both of which I've read and reviewed for this channel, as well as, like I said, fantasy stuff too with her Wizard of Earth series. It's a 6-book series with Ged that also sort of creates in an alternate fantasy world, not modern like times, but the boy wizard at the school with all the sort of genres and things like Harry Potter would do. Although again, Harry Potter's different because he's modern day in that sense, but all the tropes are there that she created, classics for younger adults. It's in that 6-book series for folks. So it's all good stuff, right? So this is the end of this collection. As a reminder, I picked up this collection because there's a short story in it called The Ones Who Walk Away from Umalas, which won a Hugo Award. And then it was about 8 pages long, and I'd never heard of it or read it before, and I found out that it had heavily influenced a Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 1 episode that I liked a lot. So I figured I'd check it out and read it. And while I was reading that short story, I'm like, well, might as well pick up this collection, right? Because I got the whole thing now. figured to knock it out. So that's why we were doing a deep dive into it. Now, this short story isn't that old ago, 2014, although it's pretty still, older than a lot of things. But her stuff tends to be very, very old. Sometimes some of it written before I was born in 1976. She definitely is like I said, my channel titles named The Worst Thing About New Books. That's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Schubert, who said that the worst thing about new books was that they kept us from reading the old ones, right? And so this is definitely an older work, classics and such. Even if this particular short story it's from 2014 for you folks, but I still liked it. I still enjoyed it. So there you are. I'll go ahead. If you enjoyed this, why not hit that subscribe button? And if you really liked it, why not hit the bell icon too if you're feeling frisky? Have you read this? If so, what'd you think about it? Let's talk about my 7 out of 10 if you agree or disagree with that. I won't talk about spoilers. Happy to do that too because all my reviews are spoiler free. And then finally, I just want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing in watching my video, because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have a great day.